what the pink is?
Yeah, well, the paragraph.
Well,
Yeah, we read. Yeah, we did.
okay.
Definitely gonna read this though. I'll let you.
This
You
one.
said we ready? Okay. It's real life. You ain't gotta. No. Don't do that while the camera rolling. It's real life. Is this real life? What? Reality TV or is this real life? It's real life up in here. All right. Praise the Most High. Yeah.
Praise Jah.
Yeah. All right. For those who don't know, I'm Brother Al. This is my reader, Brother Brian.
Check.
Coming to you on behalf of the Vineyard of Israel in the name of the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with a message on this true Sabbath day, 7th day of the week. All right. We thank him first and foremost for that revelation. All right. We thank him for the a mindset to want to hear the word and continue therein.
Right.
You know, because it's parables. People fall off. People fall out of the game. Right? And we don't want to be one of them seeds that got the word choked out. Right? So we thank the Lord for hedging us up on every side. All right. With that being said, today's message is called Where Does God Dwell? Or where does Yah dwell? Right? Title of today's message, once again, where does God dwell? Right? Let me take a pause for the cause right quick. Because we did a lesson last week on 400-year prophecy. I just got to add 3 more scriptures to that. At least 2. You know, let's go to Genesis. I know, Genesis 15. Just let me have this one time. Genesis 15. I just want to, put a little powder sugar on top of the funnel cake. You know,
man.
Everybody like funnel cake. I try to get something everybody like. Everybody don't like donuts and give them gas. So I let's do funnel cake, right? When that fair come around once a year, people break their neck to get the funnel cake. Who get it without the powdered sugar? Nobody, right? Okay, yeah, let's put the powdered sugar on there then, okay? So this is Genesis 15. Genesis 15, right? This is, the Lord was giving Abraham, start at verse 13, Brother Brian. Hearken to the scripture. I'm going to make this quick, 10 minutes, and we go on to the lesson. This we do, go ahead.
And he said unto Abram,
What?
Know of surety that the seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs.
Yeah, he said, here's what he telling Abraham, I promise you, your seed is going to be a stranger, and the land is not theirs. Yes, sir.
And shall serve them.
And
they shall afflict them 400 years.
yes, sir.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterwards shall they come out of with the great substance.
Right.
And thou shalt go to thy Abba in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
He said, this is telling what Abraham, what's his estate? You're going to be buried in a good old age. Your seed is going to be vexed by a nation, and they're going to serve him. He said 400 years. And afterwards, I'm going to judge that nation, and they're going to come out with great substance. Right, go ahead. We know this happened in Egypt, but we just going to prove it. Go ahead and read.
But in the 4th generation, they shall come hither again. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
Look, this prophecy can't go past the iniquity of the Amorite. I'm sorry. I just got to tell you, you just got to be known. This is part of it. This is the time stamp. All right, so when people go and they do whatever they want to do, this is the time. We can't go past the boundaries or the framework. You can't go past the frame. If you got a picture, what picture that you put in the frame that extend past the frame? That's tacky. Right? The Lord ain't doing nothing like that.
Right.
So there's the framework. Now watch what we say. The 4th generation, right? Let's go see when who came into Egypt. I just want to show you God don't do nothing by accidents. Exodus 1. God don't do nothing by accidents. First of all, who delivered them out of Egypt? Yeah, by the hand of who? Moses and Aaron. So this is what you automatically should be looking for. If he used Moses to deliver, God don't do nothing by accidents. Moses should be the 4th generation. Huh? If he did, what lineage did Moses come from? Levi. Let's prove it out. Exodus 1, verse 1. Go ahead.
Now these are the names of the children of Yeshareel which came into Egypt,
Right.
every man in his household with Jacob.
Right, so these are the names of the original 12 tribes is what he finna name. The original 12 brothers came into Egypt. Go ahead.
Reuben,
Huh?
Simeon,
Yes.
Levi, and Judah,
Yes.
Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin,
Who are they? Go ahead.
Dan, and Naphtali,
Yes, sir.
and Gad, and Asher.
What else?
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Uh-huh.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all the generations, and all that generations. And
So
the
Joseph and his brothers, they died. That whole generation of the 12 tribes. The Bible tells us Joseph saw the third generation of his children. That's in Genesis. I think it's 26, 40, one of them is in there. But let's see about this Levi, because go to Exodus, the 6th chapter. He used Moses to deliver them. God don't do nothing by accidents, no mistake. You can't take away his glory. He tell you something, he bring it to pass. That way you can have faith and hope in him. For once he tell you something else, right? Exodus 6. Exodus 6, verse 13. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, and gave them charge unto the children of Yasharel, and unto Pharaoh king of Egypt,
For what? What do you mean?
to bring the children of Yasharel out of the land of Egypt.
Okay, so that's who we use. Moses and Aaron to free Israel out of Egypt. Drop down to verse 16, because remember, Levi was the first generation. Come on now, it's verse 16.
And these are the names of the sons of Levi according to their generations.
Okay, according to what?
Their generations.
So how many generations have to pass? Exactly. Let's go and see if this is correct. Go ahead.
Gershon,
Uh-huh.
and Kohath,
Uh-huh.
and Merari.
Yeah, you need to remember those names, because these are the ones that had, once they was in the wilderness, had charge over the tabernacles. And no one else can do the service of the tabernacle. This is why Uzziah died when he touched it. They was in the lint, right? They had to carry it and transport it. Go ahead.
And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years.
So you see how long Levi lived? 137 years. But he had sons, right? Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. Go ahead. That's one generation. Well, that's two, right? Because Levi and then his sons. Go ahead.
The sons of Gershon, Lebanon, and Shimei, according to their families.
Right.
And the sons of Golath, Amram, and Ishar, and Hebron, and Uziel.
Yes.
And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years.
Yes.
And the sons of Merari, Mahali, and Mashai, these are the families of Levi according to their generation.
Okay.
And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife.
So who is Amram? That's Kohath's son, right? Which will make it the third generation. Because you got Levi, you got Kohath, and you got Amram. That's three generations, right? Let's see what happened. Go ahead.
And she bare him Aaron and Moses.
Oh, my goodness. Well, how many generations is that? 4 generations. That's Bible. Can't go outside the book. Moses is the 4th. That's why he can deliver them. He for helping fulfill the prophecy. You can't go past that. He told them in the 4th generation they're going to come out. And not only when they came out, what did they come out with? Great substance, gold and silver, right? That's book. That's the prophecy. Go ahead and finish that.
And the years of life of Amram were 137 years.
You see how the Bible just buried itself out, though? All you got to do is let it speak. Right? It'll tell us everything. We won't have to guess.
Right.
Right? That's when we get in trouble. I think. Don't think, just read. Right? But that's how it goes. You can see, in other words, ain't no accidents or coincidences when God speak. When he say something, that's what he mean.
Right.
We just got to dig and be able to prove it out. That's 4 generations, though. Levi, Kohath, Amram, and Moses. That's it. But I just want to throw that in there because I didn't get a chance to put it in the lesson.
Praise God.
Right, so we put it, it got it somewhere. We got it somewhere. Right? I squeezed it in. Under 10 minutes. Under 8 minutes. Right, so praise the Most High Yah. Now, like we said, today's title is, where does God live? Or where does Yah live? Right, we got to understand something about this God. right? Because the problem too many times is people think God dwell in buildings. Huh? People think God dwell in tabernacles, temples, right? The temple is a place where people go and they commune and they sacrifice unto God, right? So he used that, right? Not that it ever was his desire to dwell there. It's like if I'm omnipresent, omnipotent, all powerful, I'm always exist. Why do I want to be boxed in?
Right.
Huh? I don't. But for my people, your request, I commune with you here in this place. If we just gonna call it a temple or a tabernacle, right? Israel had a temple and a tabernacle, but it was nothing out of the norm, right? All ancient cultures had gods that they served, and they had places of worship and places that they did sacrifice, and they called them temples, right? We learned this even in the Tower of Babel. That's what they was building, right? A temple to serve the God of this world, long story short, right? So this ain't nothing new. All of the surrounding cultures was doing it, so God let Israel use it too. But he got a real dwelling place. And we got to learn some stuff about God, because what he did was temporary. Right? Let's go pick me up real quick. 1 Kings 8. We got to learn something about our God so we won't be confined. Because a lot of times, even in our day, when we say the church, psychologically you think the building. But you got to know this about God. If the building closed down today, if you dwelling in a place, in a church or a congregation that can't function, if they building is taken from them, you got problems. All we need is the Bible and a place to gather. We don't need no instruments. All this stuff is a luxury. It sounds good, right? We thank God for it, but if push come to shove, if all this stuff is taken, you still got to be able to serve Elohim. Mm-hmm. You still got to be able to serve him. That stuff, but a lot of what's happening is, just like it happened in ancient Israel, people start to put their trust in the building and in the altar, and you forget, like the statement Jesus says, one here that's greater. But let's read this. Let's see how great he is. This is 1 Kings, the 8th chapter. Let me get there because I was talking. It must be the caffeine. Well, I ain't going to drink no more for about 2 minutes. I didn't want to tell a lie on the Shabbat. I had to hurry up and fix that. Anyway, this is 1 Kings 8. You there? You already there? I'm the only one ain't there. 1 Kings 8, verse 27. Solomon was praying to God. He was he was finished building him a temple or a dwelling place. All right, look what Solomon recognized about God. You there, 27?
Yes, sir.
Hearken to the scripture.
But will Elohim indeed dwell on the earth?
That's his question he had. I done made you this temple. He said it's magnificent. The Bible say magnifical and some of the others. I said magnifical. Anyway, what is it? Do they mean magnificent? No, I just let it be. But anyway, it was one of the ancient wonders of the world. It was so grand, right? And he built it, and he said, man, I done built this temple, but would God indeed dwell on earth? Go ahead.
Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain thee.
I want you to chew the cud on that for a minute. This is what he's telling us about God. He said, man, how you going to dwell in this little box? And I'm calling it a little box because we comparing it to God. Even though it was one of the magnificent wonders of the world, it's a little box in comparison, right? So he said, will God indeed dwell on the earth? The heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How can anything contain something that's all powerful? That's always existing. Right. Huh? But see, when we put him in a box, we bring him out of his natural element. We bring him out of his natural glory and out of his natural majesty. And we confine him and we start to picture and view him in the image of pretty much the image of man.
Right.
Right. Who said the heaven and the heavens, they can't hold you. Your presence is too great. Go ahead.
How much less this house that I have built it.
Right. He said, how much less can this house contain you, this one that I've built it? Right. Go ahead.
Yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant, and to his supplication.
Yes.
O Yahuwah my Elohim,
What happened?
to hearken unto the cry, to that prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee today.
Okay, I didn't want that, but I lost track, so that's cool. But let's see where his dwelling place is. Drop down to verse 30. He said, hi.
And hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel, when they shall pray toward this place. And hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place.
Where's his dwelling place at?
In heaven.
In heaven. The Bible, can heaven contain them? No, not really. Other scriptures say I got to humble myself just to look at the things that's in heaven. So we got to see what type of majesty we dealing with.
Right.
Right? He said, here in heaven thy dwelling place, and do what?
And when thou hearest, forgive.
Yes.
If any man trust.
That's good.
Okay.
He said, and when you do hear, he said, forgive them. Right? So the point, let's skate a little bit further. Back up to, go forward to 2 Chronicles 2. And this probably was the best temple Israel had, the one that Solomon built. But it couldn't contain them. He knew that. Solomon knew it when he built it. He's basically saying, I could build this temple out of everything, the best, the creme de la creme, the best of the best substances on earth, and it still can't be compared to you.
Right.
It still ain't really worthy for you to dwell in. See, but God got his own place he want to dwell in. He always wanted to dwell in your mind. That's how, dwell with. He always wanted to dwell with you, right, and in you. But the people had a problem. Too dirty. 2 Chronicles 2, pick me up at verse 1. I'll get there on my own. Go ahead.
And Solomon determined to build an house for the name of Yahuwah.
Yes, sir.
And an house for his kingdom.
Come on now.
And Solomon told out of 70,000 men to bear burdens, and 80,000 to hew in the mountain, and 3,600 to oversee them.
Yes.
And Solomon sent to Huram, king of Tyre, saying, as thou didst dwell with David, my Abba, and didst send him cedars to build him a house to dwell therein, even so deal with me.
Right. So he's saying, deal with me like you dealt with David. Go ahead.
Behold, I build a house to the name of Yahuwah, my Elohim.
Look what is he building, a house or a temple? House, temple, tabernacle, one and the same, right? What is he building that for? What is the purpose of it? Let's find out. Go ahead.
To dedicate it to him.
To sacrifice, to dedicate it to him. Go ahead.
And to burn before him sweet incense.
So to make sacrifices. So serve and worship. You understand? Serve and worship. Go ahead.
And for the continual showbread. And for the burnt offerings morning and evening.
Continual showbread, right? They ate that. The priests ate that. How long? He said morning and evening. What else? Every day.
On the Sabbath.
Every day, right? Go ahead. On the Sabbaths.
And on the new moon.
Yes, sir.
And on the solemn feast of Yahuwah Elohim, our Elohim. This is an ordinance forever to Yesharel.
And what else?
And the house which I build is great.
So he understand that, right? He said, this is the best I can do. It ain't a man on this earth who can build a better house than this. It's a great house. Go ahead.
For great is our Elohim.
That's why. Look at that. Great is our what?
Elohim.
And?
Above all Elohims.
Above all gods. Great is our God above all gods. What else?
But who is able to build him a house, seeing the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain him?
That's right. So he understand that even though he building his house. Really, tell you the truth about it, can't nothing contain him. Go ahead.
Who am I then, that I should build him a house, save only to burn sacrifices before him?
That's right. So basically, it's like trying to put some all-powerful in like a genie, right? We trying to make a genie out of God. That's how it is. You trying to put him in the house. You trying to close him in and close him off. It's like a genie. What you got to go do? Rub on him? No. Listen, I can't be contained by this stuff, but I'm gonna honor your little request,
right?
Because I'm using this because this is where I commune, right? The purpose of the temple is for you to offer sacrifice, offer service, for you to communicate with God, right? That's important. Communicate, for you to serve and worship, right? That's the purpose. You finished that?
Yes,
Isaiah
sir.
66. Isaiah 66. So basically, God got to give us something physical so we can understand the spiritual. Because we carnal, we flesh, we got to see it in order to believe it, and most times still don't believe it, but at least we saw it. Right? 66 and 1. This is the Lord asking the question now. Peep game, what'd he say? Go ahead.
Thus saith Yahuwah,
What'd he say?
the heaven is my throne,
And
the earth is my footstool.
look at that. This how I'm everywhere.
Right.
Right? He said the heaven, it can't both of them together can't contain me. He said the heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. What else?
Where is the house that ye built unto me?
Just a question. Now, at the time he's asking this question, Solomon's temple is still standing. Picture that. They already got it. What are you talking about, God? You already got a house.
Right.
Is that the truth? The house is still standing. They worshiping at the temple. They offering sacrifices and everything. And yet and still he come back and ask a question like this. What are you trying to say? Let's find out. He said, heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me? Go ahead.
And where is the place of my rest?
Where's the place of my rest? Come on.
For all those things have my hand made,
You see that? Come on.
and all those things have been,
Yes.
saith Elohim Yahuwah. Sorry.
Go
But
ahead.
to this man will I look,
To
even to
what?
him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word.
I thought you was talking about building a house. Why is he talking about a man? He really low-key telling you, he really talking about Christ, but at the same time, he telling you what type of person he looking for to dwell within. Because he said, the place of my rest. When I want to rest, I should be able to dwell in the clean, sanctified temple.
Come on.
But I got to ask, everybody dirty. Everybody's filthy. Where is the house that you will build from? Look what he say he like. He said, he looking to him that is of a poor and contrite spirit. Number one. Number two, somebody tremble at his word. Let's see something. Psalms 99 and 5. He said, the heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. What do it say, Brother Brown?
99 and 5.
Yes, sir. Hearken to the scripture.
Exalt ye Yahuwah or Elohim, and worship at his footstool.
What's his footstool? The earth, right? Worship at his footstool. Go ahead.
For he is holy.
Yes.
Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that call upon his name. They called upon Yahuwah, and he answered them. He spake unto...
No, he said they called upon him and he answered. He don't hear the prayer of a sinner, though. Right? So what he said, I didn't want that verse, but what I wanted to show you was he said worship at his footstool.
Right.
Which is the whole earth. He said he worked because he said ain't no house really worth. I built everything. Everything come from me. I'm all powerful. He said that his footstool worship there because what he is holy. In other words, other place he tell us to be holy for why? Because he is holy.
That's right.
Right? Be humble. Why? He humble of a contrite spirit. Point is, let's let the scripture tell you. Acts 17. Acts 17. Verse 22. Go ahead.
Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill
And
and
for what?
said,
Yeah.
You men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are too superstitious.
See, this is what I understand about y'all. Y'all too superstitious. You got a God for every hour.
Right.
You got a God for every occasion. Don't cross the pole. Huh?
Right.
Get the broom, spit on it. It's New Year's. Eat some peas. Man, if you don't stop, you killing me without. These sayings are bondage. Your superstition is bondage.
Right.
Right? The law of God ain't bondage. Your superstition is. Right? Don't say that 3 times in the mirror.
Oh, man.
If I heard one more thing. But go ahead.
For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with the inscriptions.
Hold on, give me one more. Man, I had a good game last week. I ain't gonna never wash these gloves to my career. Why if you don't go sit down? Whole bus smelling like your musty gloves.
Right.
You hear me? And you don't have more bad games than good games, and you still holding on to that. You need to cut it out. You need to get a real God, right? But anyway, go ahead.
I found an altar with the inscription, to the unknown Elohim,
What did it say?
whom therefore you ignorantly worship.
Yes.
Him declare I unto you.
So that's the one I'm gonna make known to you right quick. This one ain't superstition like everything you got going on. But go ahead.
Elohim that made the world and all things therein,
Yes.
seeing that he is Yahuwah of heaven
He is Yahuwah of heaven
and earth,
and earth. What else?
dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
That's the point. This is what the whole lesson about. He dwell where?
In heaven and earth dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
He don't dwell in temples made with hands. Right? And we steady. This is important because, like I say, the stigma. When you come to the church and you serving God and worshiping, the church now took the place of the modern day temple or the ancient temples, right? So we look into the church as the church is God, right? That's a bad mind. It's the people that make up the congregation, not the. It's more churches done forgot that. More congregations or assemblies done forgot that than remember it. Because can't nobody serve God unless everything go right. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
If the microphones don't work right, man, we're going to have a bad service. Huh? If the preacher get up there and he starts stumbling and fumbling, it's not going to be good for us. Huh? Right? I mean, everybody got something.
Right.
But worshiping God should come from within. Don't you know he told... do you know where he told the apostles the kingdom of heaven was? Everybody looking for it to come. Huh? Everybody want to see it. He said, don't come by observation. He said, unless you're born of the water and the spirit, you're not going to perceive it. You're not going to understand. You're not going to recognize it. So everybody looking for it to come still 2,000 years later. And he already told you. It's within. It's within you. You know why? I made you in my image. I'm the God of heaven and earth. These temples can't contain. I don't dwell with no temple made with hands. That's religion. I'm the living God. Huh? Bust me out of this box. Huh? Go ahead. 25.
25.
Yes, sir. I kept up.
Neither is worship with men's hands.
Neither is what?
Worshipped with men's hands.
That's right.
As though he needed anything.
Just what you got to understand. Ain't no brownie points. No, I'm telling you the truth. But we look. I was good yesterday and the day before that. I was tithe, Sabbath, everything. Today I'm just gonna do this little thing. God gonna have to forgive me. No, don't do that. That's tempting. He don't need nothing from nobody. But what he do love is a cheerful giver. When he was making the tabernacle in Exodus, he said, "Tell every man that bring his offering, bring it willingly. That's what I accept." Right? So he couldn't create robots, but what fun is that? You need to worship and serve me because of how magnificent I am.
Right.
If you can't do that, you can keep it. And you know what I need that I ain't getting really? I need your best. Y'all cheating me, man. Let me tell Brother Al to say this. Y'all cheating me. I'm just saying. That's what my spirit told me. It's inside. I felt it. Huh? You know why I say y'all cheating? Y'all ain't giving me When I say y'all, I'm included. I don't want you, oh, you talking down. No, I'm in the mix of y'all. Y'all cheating me. I'm not getting the best. You can do better. You can do better. Let's work. Go ahead.
Seeing he giveth to all life.
What? You can do better. What he give you? You can do better. What else?
And breath.
You can do better.
And all things.
What? He gave you what?
All things.
You can do better than you doing. You better come on. We ain't got long. What else he do?
And have made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth.
Oh, for real? Go ahead.
And have determined the times before appointed.
He did what?
Determined the times before appointed.
You know why he can do this? Because once it shoot out his mouth, can't nobody stop it. You can get up all the armies together at one place at one time throughout human history. You still can't stop the Most High. So I already set the boundaries. Can't nobody make straight what I make crooked. Go ahead.
And the bounds of their habitation.
What else?
That they should seek Yeshua.
Now this is why he did it. I did all of that so you could seek me. But you know we seeking big brain scientists, Darwin. Well, I mean we seeking fairy tales and superstitions, just like what they was doing here on Mars Hill. We seeking put God a genie. I dream a genie. Aladdin. Huh? We seeking everything. We seeking revenue, money, gain. That's why we can't do better. Trying to straddle the fence. Go ahead and read.
If happily they might feel after him and find him.
Look, is it a burden? He said, if happily you might find them. Feel after him. Go ahead.
Though he be not far from every one of us.
And that's what we think. We think God is way out there past the universe.
Right.
Or I don't know. He just so far away, it's unattainable. But don't have that mindset. Because how you think, so a man think it, that's how is he. So you think God is far away, that's how your behavior is going to dictate that.
Right.
But if you think he near you, think he walk amongst you, you're going to straighten up, get tight. Huh? What else he say?
For in him we live.
Oh, my goodness.
And move.
And move?
And have our being.
Wow. Yes, sir.
As certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring.
Yes, sir.
For as much then as we are offspring of Elohim,
what happened?
We ought not to think that the Elohim head is like unto gold or silver or stone.
And that's the mistake we make. That's why we box them in. That's why we put limitations on them. We think he like everybody else God. The people gods is gold and silver. Some of them statues, right? Whatever it is, it has a limit. This being is limitless. Right? Go ahead.
Graven by art and man's device.
What happened?
And the times of his ignorance, Elohim winked at.
Yeah, when the time of man didn't know much about God, he said he winked at it. But now what he do?
But now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
Now it's time to repent. Get it right. Back up to the 7th chapter of Acts. Pick me up at verse 46. So remember, the function of the temple is to commune with God, offer sacrifice, worship, service. The reason why we need to know that because once we find out the true temple is our body, the functions don't change. Right? What happened? Oh, okay. No, I thought y'all was sending Morse code on me. Check it out. But anyway, 7, verse 46. 46 through 51. You there?
Yes, sir.
Talking to the scripture.
Who found favor before Elohim.
Talking about David.
And desired.
David found favor before Elohim. David desired to do what?
To find a tabernacle for Elohim of Jacob.
Yeah. So for the God of Jacob, David wanted to build him a tabernacle, right? And the Lord really wasn't tripping or really wasn't feeling that.
Right.
You know? Let me see if I had it written down. I was going to find out what he said. 2 Samuel 7. Hold your spot here. Back up. We know what we're reading about. If I got the wrong verse, I'm in the ballpark. I mean, if I got the wrong chapter. 2 Samuel 7. We coming back to that Acts. We're going to read verses 1 through 6. I mean 7, 1 through 7. Hearken to the scripture.
And it came to pass when the king sat in his house,
King David, yes.
and Yahuwah had given him rest around about.
That, you know, because in him we all live, we have our being, everything. So if the Lord or if Yahuwah didn't give him no rest from all his enemies, he wouldn't have none. But now he got it. Go ahead.
Round about from all his enemies.
Right, what else? What else?
The king said unto Nathan the prophet.
So let's see if the king forgot about the Most High once he got blessed. Or once he was delivered from the hand of his enemy, did he wax fat and kick? Let's find out. Go ahead.
See now.
Because, you know, that's the number one thing we transgress for. Once we get increased, it's even in Deuteronomy. Once the people increase, you transgress. But let's look into the mind of somebody that's holy. And it's a man. Because I know here, Jesus, anybody do what Jesus do? Okay, well, let's get a physical example. Well, he was physical too, but somebody more on our level, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
See now, I dwell in a house of cedar.
Yeah, so he's telling you where he live at, right? The king. I'm living in a good old house. Go ahead.
But the ark of Elohim dwelleth within curtains.
The Ark of the Covenant, that represents God's presence on earth. It dwell where?
Within curtains.
Behind curtains, in the curtain, in the veil, in the tent. Go ahead.
And Nathan said unto the king,
What'd he say?
Go, do all that is in thine heart, for Yahuwah is with thee.
Yeah, that's what the prophet said to David. Right, what happened?
And it came to pass that night that the word of Yahuwah came to Nathan, saying.
Okay, so now that was what Nathan said to David. But now the word of the Lord came to Nathan the prophet and said what?
Go and tell my servant David, thus saith Yahuwah.
What'd he say?
Shalt thou build me a house for me to dwell in?
Question. Shall you build me a house? I made you, right? Shall ye build me a house to dwell in?
Right.
Go ahead.
Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I have brought up the children out of Israel out of Egypt.
So this is about the span of 450, 60, 70 years. He said, I've been in a tent since I brought you up out of Egypt. Days of Joshua, the days of the judges, that's around 450 years. 40 more with Saul, right? Now David, that's about almost 500 years. Ain't nobody thought about building them a house before then? Wow. That's amazing. You done got 500 years worth of generations of Israelites, and ain't none of y'all thought about building your God a permanent dwelling place? Because that's what the temple is, or what's supposed to be a permanent dwelling place.
Right.
To the tabernacle of the congregation was a portable tent. But anyway, go tell my servant David, shalt thou build me a house to dwell in? Now, why would he say that based on what we just learned? He don't dwell in temple made with hands. It can't really contain them. You minimize it. Right, come on.
Even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle. 7. In all the places wherein I have walked with the children of Israel, spake I a word with many of the tribes of Israel.
You said, did I speak any word? Basically, did I give them any commandment as such? Go ahead.
Whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, why build ye not me a house of cedar?
So the Lord is telling, did I ever ask for that?
Right.
Right? That's not really my aim. But since you thought about me like that, I'm going to grant the request. But he didn't let David do it. He let Solomon do it because David had too much blood on his hand. Even when Solomon built it, we learned what Solomon said, though. Will God indeed dwell on earth? The heaven and the heavens of heavens can't contain
Mm.
How much more or less is this house, right? Go back to Acts. And now we're picking it up from God's point of view that he don't dwell in temple made with hands. Neither is he worshipped by men's hands. So basically what we just learned, it really is an honor and a privilege to be able to worship this God.
Better say that.
Because in verse 25, Acts 17 told us, I ain't worship with man's hands. I don't dwell in no physical temple. So that's how we really need to approach this. You let me read your word. You let me sing praises. You let me be able to understand and teach and help others. You let me do this? Man, I'm going to go 1,001. You know what I'm saying? I only really got 1,000 in me, but I'm going to do one thing, one more. Yeah, you hear me? But that's for the power of God, the extra. But go ahead.
47.
Yes.
But Solomon built him in the house.
He did? Go ahead.
Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Now, you know, the apostle telling us this, the apostle Paul or Saul. We understand. He understands this. This is what he wants us to understand. Right? We need the same understanding. God don't dwell in... Why would we need to understand that now? Because there is no temple erected to the God of heaven and earth as we sit here in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Do its praise, worship, serve, and sacrifice, do it stop? Well, how do it continue? Because we need the temple to commune with God. We're going to find out. We need the temple to commune. Because he ain't dwelling among flesh. Something to think about. Remember, he asked us in Isaiah, the temple was still standing. What house will ye build? The question is still the same. What house will ye build? That's what the lesson about. The real temple is the body. It even looks like a man's body when you put them side by side. See, it has similarities. Go ahead and finish that, Brian.
As saith the prophet.
I got 40 minutes. What happened?
49. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool.
So is that not true? Is his people scattered all over the earth? Are you supposed to worship him at his footstool? The footstool is similar to is sometimes it runs synonymous with the altar. What happened at the altar? We offer sacrifices. That's why he told you worship me at my footstool, all over the earth. So therefore, I'm not just erected in one building. I feel heaven and earth. So I'm going to scatter you across heaven and earth. Go ahead and worship me now. But I still do need that dwelling place, a place to rest. Where's it going to be? See, now you got something to do. Create in me a clean heart, oh God. Renew a right spirit within me. Huh? He can't, if it ain't clean, he can't be there.
That's right.
What else?
What house will ye build for me?
Now Isaiah already said this. Paul is running this down to his audience. He asking the same question. You need to know this. Why? Because at Paul's day, the temple, the second temple is still standing. But he know that it's only a matter of years and this thing is coming down too. And you still have to have, you still most likely going to be alive once this temple is torn down. Still have to have means to worship and serve and sacrifice to this God, the God of heaven and earth. So what temple you going to build? Go ahead.
Saith Yahuwah, or what is the place of my rest? Have not my hand made all these things?
Have not my hand made all these things? And look what his indictment is. Keep going.
You stiff-necked and uncircumcised in the heart and ears.
What happened?
You do always resist the Ruach HaKodesh.
Yeah.
As your fathers did, so do ye.
He talking to the people. You ain't building God no temple, no dwelling place, no place of rest. He said you stiff-necked and rebellious. Your heart is uncircumcised. If your heart is uncircumcised, the laws and statutes and commandments cannot reside in your mind. He said you always resist the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. Basically, you making yourself unworthy. You doing the same thing as your fathers did.
Mm-hmm.
You counting yourself unworthy. Right? That's what he's telling them. That's enough of that. Let's go Exodus 25. Exodus 25. Oops. Pick me up at verse 1. We reading this so we can, verse 22 is our concentration. We're going to see why we need the temple. The number one reason we need the temple. Hearken to the scripture.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying,
What?
Speak unto the children of Israel,
And?
that they bring me an offering.
Uh-huh.
Of
So
every-
it's a commandment kind of, right? They need to bring me an offering. But what happened?
Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart,
Every
you shall
man
take
that
my
give it
offering.
grudgingly,
Willingly.
kind of sort of want to do it.
Willingly.
Huh? So he don't accept everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he been showing us this same thing since the days of Cain and Abel. I don't accept. I need that best. Give me that first. What you got?
Right.
Huh? You need to unball your fist, right? And give me what you got. Go ahead.
3.
Every man offer willingly, ye shall take my offering of him. Go ahead.
And this is the offering which ye shall take of them.
Right.
Gold and silver and brass.
Yes.
And blue
Mhm.
and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ram skins dyed red and badger skin and shittim wood.
Yes.
Oil for the light,
And?
spices for anointing oil,
We're finna find out why he getting all of it together and all this material. Go ahead.
and for sweet incense.
Yes, sir.
Onyx stones,
Uh-huh.
and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate.
Yes.
And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them.
Let them. What do I need a sanctuary for?
To dwell among
So
them.
I can dwell among them. Sir, underline that word among. So I may dwell among them. Go ahead.
According to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle.
So
And
don't make it how you want to.
right.
'Cause I know you will go all fly off the handle. You're going to do what you want to do. You make it after the pattern that I show you. Go ahead.
And the pattern of all instruments thereof, even so shall you make it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
they-
drop down. Let's drop down a bit. He started telling them about what to put in it. Well, I want to, because I can be long-winded, get to verse 22. They're wrong. Go ahead.
And there I will meet with thee.
What?
There I will meet with thee.
Well, so what's the purpose of this thing?
And I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat.
I will meet with you there. And what? Commune. What that mean? Communicate. Right? That's the purpose. That's why you need the temple. The tabernacle. So that you can commune or communicate with God. Because he said that, you know why? Because he has chosen the place where he desires to meet you.
Right.
Because he said, there will I meet you. Huh? And it ain't changed. We just don't have the physical when he wrecked it. That's the place. So that's the importance of the temple. You finished that?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
From between the 2 cherubims, which are upon the ark of the testimony.
Look, that's important too. Because he's narrowing down the place. It's real specific where I'm going to commune with you at. This is the most holy place in the temple.
Mm.
And man got a most holy place in his body. And that's his mind. He said, there will I meet with thee, and I will commune with thee, or communicate with you from above the mercy seat, from between the cherubims, right? Go ahead.
Which are upon the ark of the testimony. Of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Yasharel.
He said, of all these things, I'm going to command you. So this is where my commandments and my instructions is going to take place. Right? Now when you get to Job 33, he said the Lord speak it once, yet twice, but man perceive it not. But he's speaking to you to withdraw you from your own purpose. And he's speaking to you, what did he say in a dream? In a vision.
Visions. Yeah.
Visions of the night. So he's speaking to you in what he considers your most holy place. So that's why we're learning the function of it. So when we show you that the temple is the body, the function of the temple don't change. The function is the same. This is where you meet with God. This is where you communicate. This is where you offer your sacrifice. This is where you worship God. Basically, this is where heaven and earth come together. But he don't desire a temple made with hands. He don't desire that temple made with hands. Don't forget that. Okay? What verse you at, Brian? I lost my spot.
That was the end of 22.
End of 22?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. We'll come back. We'll come back. So he said, Hebrews the 8th chapter. Hebrews 8. Told him, don't make it after the pattern that I told you. You there?
Yes, sir.
Pick me up at verse 1. Go ahead.
Now the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary.
Who is that? That's Christ, right? A minister of the sanctuary. What kind of sanctuary is that?
And of the true tabernacle.
Oh, the true tabernacle. Oh, where is it at? We should be able to see it on earth, huh? Where is it at?
Which Yahuwah pitched and not man.
Which the Lord pitched and not man. Go ahead and keep on elaborating.
For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer.
Okay, so this true tabernacle is where? In the heavens. The throne of his majesty. In the heavens. A minister of the true tabernacle, which the Lord pitched and not man. That's why he told Moses to make it after the pattern. All right, go ahead.
For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law.
Go ahead.
Who serve unto example a shadow of heavenly things, as Moshe was abolished of Elohim when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he,
what?
That thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount.
All right. That's what we was just reading. You make it like I told you, not like you want to. And we patterning it after the true tabernacle, right? So God, the point is, God really never wanted to dwell in temples made with hands. We really saw this early on in the Bible. I don't know if we paid attention. Let's get a couple of little examples right quick. Pick me up at Genesis 22. Verse 1. Genesis 22 and 1. Hearken to the scripture.
And it came to pass after these things that Elohim did not tempt Abram.
Did tempt Abram, yes.
Did tempt Abraham.
That means he tested him. Right, go ahead.
And said unto him,
What'd he say?
Abraham.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Behold, here am I.
Yeah, I'm right here, yes, sir.
And he said,
What?
Take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of.
Offer him for a burnt offering. I thought you had to offer up at the temple. Huh? But remember what he told you. The earth is my footstool. Worship me in my footstool. He told you to go to Mount Moriah and do this. So yet and still he picked the place. This is the place where the temple will later on be built anyway. God don't do nothing with accident or accidentally. Right, drop down to verse 13. But you see, Abraham, he went on, he shook loose and got moving. He ain't like us. He ain't say, you ain't got another job for me,
Right.
boy? Uh-huh. I really would like to do this, but
Right.
no, Father of the faithful, I believe God. This how much I believe. I know you, my son. Man, you got to go, though.
That's right.
Most I said. Verse 13.
And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behind him a ram caught in the thicket by his horn.
Right, because he was going to kill me. He offered him up, and the angel told him don't do it. And now he saw a ram caught in the thicket. What'd he say?
And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son.
What happened?
And
So he did this in Mount Moriah, right? He offered him. So he worshiping him. It don't take a physical temple. That's the point. It doesn't take a physical temple. You understand? They've been worshiping God before we built temples.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Go ahead.
And Abraham called the name of this place Jehovah Jireh.
You look what he did. What that mean?
As it is said to this day, in the mount of Yahuwah it shall be seen.
Where are you at?
The 15.
So he offered him up, right? He made sacrifice in the Mount Moriah, and then he called the place what? Jehovah Jireh. As it is said this day, in the mount of the Lord. This is the mount of the Lord. He said, this shall it been seen. Let's see if we can't get another example. Is this the only one? Genesis 28. Over a couple chapters. Genesis 28. Start at verse 10. Go ahead.
And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lightened upon a certain place and tarried there all night.
So he came upon this certain place and he stayed there all night. Yes, sir.
Because the sun was set. And he took up the stones of that place and put them in his pillows and lay down in the place to sleep.
For what? And what happened?
And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said,
Who stood above? What?
Yahuwah.
He did what?
He stood above it
And what happened?
and said, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham thy father.
So he introducing himself to him in this place. It don't matter where you at. Huh? Earth is my footstool. Worship at my footstool. The problem is everybody is always putting more stock in the building. In other words, in man's mind, the temple is God. Just like we got the same mentality. The church is God. But God rebuked them for this type of mindset. We're going to see it. Go ahead.
And the Elohim of Isaac, and land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed.
He said, the land whereon you stay, I'm going to give you this land, and to your seed. Go ahead. What verse?
14.
Okay. Drop down a bit. 16. Go ahead.
And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely Yahuwah in this place, and I knew it not. It's in this place, and I knew it not.
So I want y'all to pay attention to verse 12, because we might not have time to read, but write John chapter 1, verse 51 down, because this same thing happened to Christ. And Christ said, I am the temple. Go ahead and read.
16.
Yes, sir.
17.
Uh-huh.
And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place?
Look at that. Is it a physical temple erected anywhere? Is it how dreadful is this place? What about, why is it dreadful?
This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven.
He recognized that. This is where I met him at. This is the meeting place. This is the gate of heaven. This place is dreadful. This is not, but he just ain't no other, this can't be no other place.
Right.
But the place, go ahead.
18.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows
And did what?
and set it up for a pillar
So he marked the place. What'd he do?
and poured oil upon the top of it.
Uh-huh.
And he called the name of that place Bethel.
What that mean? Go ahead.
But the name of the city was called Luz at the first.
Bethel mean house of God. That's what he called the place, the house of God. Go ahead.
And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if Elohim will be with me and will keep me in the way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house of peace,
What happened?
then shall Yahuwah be my Elohim.
That's right. Go ahead.
And this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be Elohim's house.
Bethel. That's what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And of all that thou givest shall give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee.
You see that? That's simple prayer. A vow. How many of us vowed that? You just expected that out of yourself. You ain't never say it. Let's go Exodus the 3rd chapter. Point is, God don't desire to dwell in a physical building, no matter how magnificent it is.
Right.
Exodus 3:1. When he gave him the tabernacle, the tent of the congregation, he brought them out of Egypt. That was the center place of their service. It was in the midst of them. And he said, I'm going to dwell among them. But in the New Testament, when he started talking about the temple, the real temple, the language was slightly different. We're going to see what it said if I don't forget. Just want me to tell you now? Read Exodus 3:1.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of Elohim, even to Horeb.
He came where?
To the mountain of Elohim.
God got a mountain on the earth? What's the name of it?
Horeb.
Okay. Also known as what? Mount Sinai?
Yeah.
Same thing. So what happened when he got there? He met him. He was there. Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Read again.
The whole thing?
Because we just be skimming over,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian.
Yes.
And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of Elohim, even to Horeb.
So what happened when he got there?
And the angel of Yahuwah appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush.
Accident? It's not an accident, is it? Go ahead.
And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
What? Drop down to verse 5. I don't want all of this.
And he said, draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet.
For what? Why I got to do that?
For the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
You see that? Respect the game. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Respect the area. This is my area up in here. All right? Don't become tried me underfoot. Take your shoes off. All right? That's how you still got the same tradition. Let somebody get a kind of sort of expensive house, right, with some kind of sort of expensive floors. You're going to say, take off your shoes before you come in here. Is that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Same type of tradition. But when God do it, we don't pick up on it, right?
Right.
What did he say, verse 5? Did we already read that?
Yes.
Okay, so he finna give Moses a job pretty much, just to set the children of Israel free, right? But that's why he appeared to him. Now, go to the 19th chapter of Exodus. Pick him up at verse 1. Mountain of God. The earth is his footstool. You there?
Yes, sir.
Verse 1, go ahead.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
They came where?
To the wilderness of Sinai.
That's Horeb. That's the same thing Moses was doing earlier. Instead of the children of Israel, which, we call them sheep, he had physical sheep at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But he still led them to the backside of the mountains.
Same play.
He did the Sam Brady. That means same play for those who don't know. Same play, right? But this time, instead of being a bad sheep, it was sheep that can talk. It was men, right? That's what it was. Same thing, though. Go ahead.
Oh, man. 2.
Yes, sir.
For they were departed from Rephidim,
Yes.
and were come to the desert of Sinai,
And what happened?
and had pitched there in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount.
And what happened?
And Moses went up to Elohim. And
He knew that place. Because remember, he told him, one of the signs was, this how you going to know that I am who I am. You're going to bring the children of Israel right back to this same place. That's the sign that's how you're going to know I sent you. So now when Moses came, he wasn't a stranger to the area.
Right.
I bet he had his shoes off this time.
Right.
And he went up to, and what happened?
And Yahuwah called unto him out of the mountain, saying,
So Moses called the Lord.
Nah, Yahuwah called him.
Go ahead.
Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob,
And
tell the children of Israel.
this is what I need you to tell them. Long story short, drop down to 14. You need to sanctify yourself, get ready. I'm the Lord your God that brought you out of Egypt. Verse 14.
And Moses went down from the mountain unto the people and sanctified the people. And they washed their clothes.
Got to get clean. You finna meet God. You got to clean yourself up. Come on.
And he said unto the people,
What'd he say?
Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount. And the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim. And they stood.
He brought them out of the camp to do what?
Meet with Elohim.
Okay.
And they stood at the neither part of the mount.
It's the bottom part of the mountain. Don't come up. Don't cross this line, in other words. Right? Draw the line in the sand. All right? Do not pass this portion. You know what he just did? He put a difference between the clean and the unclean. He the clean.
Right.
The people's done. He the holy. There's a difference between the holy and the unholy. But we finna get some instructions now. Go ahead.
18.
Yes, sir.
And on Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire, and the smoke there was ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly.
Yeah, what else happened?
And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moshe spake, and Elohim answered him by a voice.
What did he say?
And Yahuwah came down upon Mount Sinai.
He did what?
He came down.
I thought he ain't got to be in no physical temple.
Come on, man.
He came down up on the mountain. The mountain of God, he said, right? Go ahead.
On top of the mount. And Yahuwah called Moshe up to the top of the mount, and Moshe went up. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yahuwah to gaze, and many of them perish.
Right, because he know somebody going to try to sneak a peek.
Right.
But you know what? If you sneak this peek, you know that's it for you. Go let them know. Right, go ahead.
22. And let the priests also which come near to Yahuwah sanctify themselves, lest Yahuwah break forth upon them. And Moses said unto Yahuwah.
So what happened if they don't sanctify themselves? He break forth upon them. You don't want that. He going to kill you. Go ahead and read.
The people cannot come up the Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And Yahuwah said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priest and the people break through to come up unto Yahuwah, lest he break forth upon them.
Yes.
So Moshe went down unto the people and spake unto them.
So he told them the same thing. Now this is the day of the assembly. After that, he gave them what? The lively oracles, the 10 Commandments. He descended upon the mountain. He instructed the people. And this is good for good. All right? But let's go for, matter of fact, let me pause for the cause. Let me read this little insert I got, right? Because since we're dealing with the Lord not dwelling in temples made with hands, let's see something right quick. Yeah, let's read these little. Let me see. You ain't got to read that page. Go ahead. Because God did a work all the way from the beginning. You there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do it say?
In Genesis 2, we find that Elohim created a garden where humans work and explore and create with Elohim.
Remember, he don't dwell in temples made with hands. When he first introduced himself to man, did he make a temple?
Mm-mm.
He made a garden. And this is the place where what? He communed with man, which that's the purpose of the temple. So you could say he made a garden temple.
Yeah.
This is where he was supposed to instruct them. Well, he did give them a command. Choose life and live. Don't eat from the tree that's in the midst of the garden. And he used to come day after day. In the cool of the day and communicate. But anyway, let's just go ahead and read. I'm not.
In the Bible, this space is called the Garden of Eden, a bountiful and sacred home.
Right.
The Garden of Eden is described as an amazing place.
Indeed.
Don't picture your grandma's garden.
Because you know how we do. Granny garden, you got 2 little shriveled up vegetables. Right? Oh, we talking about something that's magnificent, right? Something that's beautiful. Paradise.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
Or even your local botanical garden. Ancient gardeners were impressive. Massive spaces created by kings as oases of life.
Pretty much, all the ancient kings had massive gardens. This is like a sign that they arrived. You know, like go ahead.
Here is a description of a garden in Nineveh created by a Syrian king named Ashurbanipal II, who
he in the
lived.
Bible too. I like to hear that again. He said it's so funny. One more time, Brian. What's his name?
Between 883 and 859 BC.
Yeah. Look, he a Syrian. That man, we don't know them names. But anyway, it's in the Bible. But what's happening is he was the king of Assyria when Assyria was the world power, the superpower. And he had a garden, right? A magnificent garden. What happened? Just like Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar had a garden. I think it's Hanging Gardens or something like that. It was one of the ancient wonders of the world too. Huh? Yeah. What else? Don't let me keep interrupting. It ain't much to read. Go ahead, bro.
I know it's Sister CC. You ready to hear about it, ain't you? I got you. You ready? I dug out a canal from the river Upper Zab, cutting through a mountain peak, and called it the Abundance Canal. I watered the meadows of the Tigris and planted orchards with all kinds of fruit trees in the vicinity. I planted seeds and plants that I had found in countries through which I had marched and in the highlands which I have crossed. Pines of different kinds, cypress and junipers of different kinds, almonds, dates, ebony, rosewood, olive, oak, tamarisk, walnut, terebinth and ash, fir, pomegranate, pear, quince, fig, grapevine. The canal waters gushed from above into the garden. Fragrance pervades the walkways. Streams of water as numerous as the stars of heaven flow in the pleasure garden. Like a squirrel, I pick fruit in the garden of delights. The Garden of Eden wasn't designed by a human king, of course.
You had it. Preached.
So we can imagine it was even grander. And unlike other ancient gardens, the Garden of Eden was not a destination to visit, but a place for humans to live and work in a community with Elohim.
Y'all following? Right? I need to be quiet.
No,
keep going, bro. Now keep going. So that's his glory. That's the king's glory right out. And what he was telling us, you know, they'll sack other countries and they'll take the goods from other countries and put them in their gardens. Right? That's their glory. So don't you know the Lord did the same thing?
Right.
What did they say about the Garden of Eden? Oh, you finished that part?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did y'all catch it? One sound, Brady.
The Garden of Eden wasn't designed by a human king, of course.
That's the truth.
So we can imagine it was even grander.
Yes.
And unlike other ancient gardens, the Garden of Eden was not a destination to visit, but a place for humans to live and work in community with God.
Ain't that what the temple is for? But go ahead.
In an ancient city, the only site as grand as the king's garden would have been the temple. Ancient temples were designated spaces where humans could experience the presence of their gods. And they
What's
were
the temple for?
experience the presence of their gods.
That's why they made it. They had a lot. Other nations was doing the same thing. This Bible dictionary we was gonna read was telling us all the nations did the same. They built temples to them pagan gods. Right? It's still the same way now. Got a temple for Islam. We got a temple for white Jesus. We got a temple, for Buddha and who else? Your mama and everybody else you want to name, right? It's temples for everybody. All right, the more the merrier. All right, let's get it. But anyway, go ahead.
They were arguably the most marvelous structures in ancient world.
The temples were the most marvelous structures in the ancient world. What else?
From the ziggurats of ancient Mesopotamia to the pyramids of ancient Egypt to the massive Mayan temples in South America. These buildings were designed to evoke transcendence and awe. Only priests were allowed inside most temples.
See, this is why the temple not made with hands is better. Because at first, only the priest, even in Israel, only the priests. Go in there if you want to, or you ain't a priest.
Right.
Well, let's see if you come out. Right, but go ahead.
Because they functioned as mediators between the gods and the people of the city.
Because you see what the purpose, the temples function as medians between, just like what Eden was doing. This is where we meet, where we communicate with them, where we serve, where we worship. Go ahead.
Temples were referred exclusive places, often guarded by soldiers and large statues of animal-like creatures.
It's serious. These temples are serious. This ain't nothing to play with. Go ahead.
In order to meet with God, you had to go to a temple, which is why the beginning of the biblical story is so fascinating.
Right. Like what?
Elohim didn't create a temple for himself.
Oh.
Instead, he planted a garden where he dwelled with humans.
Is that the truth? What else happened?
The garden was his temple.
What?
The garden was his temple. Humans had full access to Elohim.
Did they? Until when?
Till
sin can enter the picture, right? Well, go ahead.
And Elohim had full access to humans.
Heaven on earth. That's what we had. It wasn't heaven and earth. It was heaven on earth. Go ahead.
No soldiers and scary statues standing in the way.
Mm-mm.
We know Elohim saw the garden as his temple not only because he dwelled there, but also because of a key word used in Genesis narrative.
What is that?
Image.
Go ahead. Explain.
In the inner recesses of every ancient temple, you would find a statue of the God that the temple was built to honor.
Right. So in the ancient world, the ancient temples, they would have a statue of their gods. The Bible talk about Dagon and his temple and how he had his statue erected. Right? So all of them was the same. What happened?
These statues were considered physical embodiments of the God's presence and authority in the land.
And that's why they bow down and worship him, right? Go ahead.
And they were called idols or images.
Yes.
Here's the remarkable thing.
What is it?
In Genesis, Elohim declared that humans were his image.
That's the truth. That's why he put the man in there. He put an image of himself. Go ahead.
Instead of setting a statue in one specific place in the
Better.
garden.
Them statues can't walk, talk, smell, eat, drink, nothing.
Right. That's cold.
But if I'm the God of everything and I'm making something that's like me, it's gonna be functional. It's gonna be able to create. Huh? Who could do that but him? They did the best they could, but they still just don't live. Right? Go ahead. But you see how God takes things that Israel is used to, because Israel came from amongst the nations too. They seen out everything that the nations were doing, and the Lord kept it similar in some things. But he used it. Right? Go ahead.
Instead of setting a statue at one specific place in the garden to symbolize his reign, he commissioned the living, breathing humans to be the figures that represent his rule. To be made in the image of Elohim means we have been given Elohim's authority to reign and rule over creation on his behalf.
We the only one gave it away. We surrendered it to Satan, but he gave it to us. All right? Go ahead.
And that's exactly what we see happen next. Elohim ordered humans to multiply and subdue all of creation. Elohim freed humans to use their own creative power and imaginations
Yep.
to spread the order and beauty of the garden and to the rest of creation.
That's right. What else happened?
Genesis 2 gives us a picture of Elohim's dominion and humanity's domain completely overlapping.
Remember that ancient king was putting all of that stuff in the garden? That's why we read in Genesis, he made all of the trees that was good for food and put them in the garden, right? But go ahead, anyway.
It was heaven on earth.
It was?
A glorious time
Oh, yeah.
when Elohim's space and human space were on one and the same.
On accord. Who was on one accord? Well, then what happened?
The 7-day structure of the creation narrative in Genesis 1
It got special significance, too. The 7-day structure, what is it? Tell us.
is both confusing and controversial today.
Mm-hmm.
But the ancient Israelites would not have fretted over whether the narrative was accurate or metaphorical.
They would have understood, no sweat. It's written in our language, right? We know what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Instead, they would have heard another message loud and clear.
So like what?
Creation is Elohim's temple.
It is. What else?
In the ancient Israelites' world, temples were always dedicated with a 7-day ceremony. This was true.
We got an example. What, like what?
This was true not only of the Israelites' temples built for their Elohim, but of temples among neighboring nations raised for their deities.
You know how they did the same thing. Neighboring nations did the same thing. Right? Once they erected a temple, they dedicated for 7 days. Right? Israel did the same thing. Go ahead.
We have ancient records that describe a 7-day ritual for a temple built by a Sumerian king more than 1,000 years before Solomon erected the great temple of Jerusalem.
So that just lets you know the practice of ancient temples been around. The dedication is nothing new. Right? Even when God, that's why do you think God asked David, he said, I've been walking in tents. He said, did I ask any one of the tribes to build me a house?
Right.
Similar. I'm sanctified. Right, but go ahead. Since you want a temple, I honor that request. But really, I don't dwell in temples made with hands. That's just how I get down. I created the temple in the beginning. All right, go ahead.
This ritual was so deeply ingrained in ancient culture that the Israelites would have immediately understood a 7-day creation story to mean that the creation itself was a temple to their Elohim.
Is that it?
In the Old Testament, we witness 3 other 7-day rituals, dedications connected to temples. The Israelites held Leviticus 8:33 through 35.
You can write that down and catch it out. Go ahead.
The Israelites held a 7-day ceremony to dedicate the sacred tabernacle in the wilderness.
That's the one we was reading about in Exodus 25. Once they made it, they had a 7-day, what'd you say?
They had a 7-day ceremony to dedicate the sacred tabernacle in the wilderness.
So basically saying they did it thrice, right? Go ahead.
1 Kings 8:2.
Thrice, that means 3 times. I've been working on my biblical numbers.
That's good.
I'm done lying. Go ahead and read them. Seen
And
that in one scripture.
8
ran
and
with it.
65.
What is it?
1 Kings 8:2 and 8 and 65.
That's right. That's when Solomon built the temple. God showed up, and they had the Feast of Tabernacles. So really, they had it 14 days on that occasion. Because they had the Feast of Tabernacles. That was 7 days. And God showed up in the temple, and they dedicated it for 7 more days. Right? What else?
Say that. Solomon dedicated the temple in Jerusalem with 2 back-to-back 7-day ceremonies
14 days. Go ahead.
in the 7th month of the calendar year.
In 7 months, yeah. What else?
Also in Ezekiel 43, verses 25 through 27, the prophet envisions a new temple in Jerusalem and foresees a 7-day ritual dedication.
Yeah. Saw it coming. The Lord showed it to him. Right? That's it.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
That
Let's
was
go.
good.
I'm good on that. Let's go. Let's go to Luke 21 right quick. Because the only problem was the people started to see those temples as God. They started to give a temple more reverence than the Lord, in other words. start to trust in the temple. And that's the problem. Luke 21. You can pick him up at verse 1. Go ahead.
And he looked up and saw a rich man casting their gifts into the treasury.
This is Christ. He looked up, he saw a rich man casting his gift in the treasury. Right?
And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in their 2 mites.
Yes.
And he said, of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow have cast in more than they all. For all these have their abundance cast in unto the offering of Elohim, but she of her penury have cast in all the living that she had.
All right, of her poverty. All right, go ahead.
And as some spake of the temple, how it was
You talking about what?
and as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said.
Look, everybody worried about how it looks.
Right.
Christ in the flesh. They talking about the temple and how magnificent it is. Right? You ain't worried about that? All right, go ahead.
6. As for these things which ye behold, the days will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
You see what he told them? You worried about this temple and how beautiful it is. Look, I promise you it's going to come a day when this temple you admiring, he said ain't one stone going to be left upon another. Right, John the 4th chapter. Let me throw this in right quick. A little flavor. I didn't have it in there, but we can add it real quick. John 4. Let me get there. Verse 19. 4:19. Go ahead.
The woman saith unto him,
This is the woman in Samaria. She said what?
Sir,
Uh-huh.
I perceive that thou art a prophet.
See, I could tell you're a prophet. I understand that. Go ahead.
Our fathers worship in this mountain.
I said, that's in the mountain of Samaria. What happened?
And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
Because that's where the temple was, right? Say, you say Jerusalem is the place. What else?
Yeshua say unto her, Woman.
You sure right. Huh? No, Jerusalem is the only place.
Right.
What is it?
Yeshua said unto her,
What did he
Woman,
say? Yes.
believe me, the hour cometh when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
What we going to do?
You worship you know not what.
If that happened, what we going to do? How we going to worship? The Lord made a better way, right? The Lord made a better way. He said the hour is going to come. Verse 23, when you going to neither worship in this mountain, the mountain of Samaria, nor in Jerusalem. Worship the Father. What happened? Verse 23, yes,
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
He's seeking for the true worship. Hit that verse 22. I got to steal me a little.
22?
Yes, sir.
You worship you know not what.
You really don't know what you worship. You worship buildings and stuff. Go ahead and read.
We know what we worship.
We know what you mean.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the temple?
Of the Jews.
Huh? Salvation is of the Jews, right? Not the physical building don't make God. Right? He said the true worshiper. God is a spirit, verse 24.
Elohim is a spirit.
How you going to contain a spirit in a box? Huh? A building. You see it on TV, but that stuff is make-believe. Huh? Go ahead.
And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
True worshipers. Jeremiah the 7th chapter, and then we're going to do Matthew 12. I'm getting close to getting y'all out of here.
Jeremiah what?
Jeremiah 7. Because the people started to trust in this stuff. You see the same attitude today. That's how we can relate. You see it. Everybody, when what they want to talk to you about, my church got that ATM, baby. Boy, we got Starbucks last year in our church. What are you talking about? Man, we got a gym and a basketball team and a slide for baptism. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? We got a light show. Our preacher come down out the clouds like,
Right.
man, you better get out of here.
Oh,
Hey, so you know what's happening? Everything is about the church and how good. Man, we got programs for our kids and the school. Huh? We got a banking hours, loan officers. I'm just saying, it ain't about the Lord no more. It's about the building. The same problem in the ancient world, right? Verse 1. Stand in verse 1. Go ahead.
the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah saying,
What did he say?
stand in the gate of Yahuwah's house.
In the gate of what?
Yahuwah's house.
Which is what? The temple. Is that correct? But you know it's bad news when you see that prophet. I'm a king. I'm king. No, I ain't going to name none of them boys, but I'm the king in Jerusalem. And I see the prophet coming. You know what happened? I'm about to start gnashing my teeth. I know it ain't finna be nothing good.
Right.
Why is you coming over here? I got news, baby. Go ahead.
And proclaim there this word and say,
You're talking about stand in the gate of the Lord's house and proclaim. That means to announce it publicly. Everybody finna hear. Straight rebuke. Go ahead.
hear the word of Yahuwah,
Mm-hmm.
all ye of Judah.
I thought you should be hearing that inside the temple, huh? It's a problem. Go ahead and read.
that enter in at these gates to worship Yahuwah.
Can you see why he wouldn't want this? You taking his glory and giving it to an inanimate object. Right? I don't want, go ahead, tell him this.
Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts,
Yes, sir.
the Elohim of Israel,
What?
amend your ways and your doings,
Uh-huh.
and I will cause you to dwell in this place.
Well, you need to change your ways and your doings. If you do that, then I will let you remain in this place. Go ahead.
Trust ye not in lying words.
And we know this didn't happen because the lady, he told Christ when he came in the flesh told a lady at the well that it's going to come a day when you don't worship in this mountain nor in Jerusalem.
Mhm.
So they didn't take heed to the warning, but yet it's still here. Go ahead.
The temple of Yahuwah,
He said, trust not in lying words, saying what? The temple of Yahuwah?
the temple of Yahuwah,
Uh-huh.
the temple of Yahuwah are these.
Right. That meaning everything is about the temple. So you seeing the temple worship as worship of the living God.
Mhm.
You can't differentiate the two. Huh? Go ahead.
For if you thoroughly amend your ways and your doings,
Yes.
if you thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if you oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods of your hurt,
Mm-hmm.
then will I cause you to dwell in this
Now
place.
look, they doing all of this and they steady coming to the temple. Like ain't nothing wrong.
Hmm.
And look what he said. If you do all of this, this is what I need you to do. If you want to dwell in this place, right? He said you need to do all this. Don't oppress the fatherless and the stranger and the widow. Don't shed innocent blood. Don't walk after other gods. If you do that, then I won't. I'll let you remain. Go ahead.
Then will I cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave your fathers forever and ever.
Verse 11.
And this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes?
That's what's happening. Go ahead.
Behold, even I have seen it, saith Yahuwah.
He said, I seen this, and I'm not with it. This is why I'm going to tear this thing down. All right, let's go to Matthew, the 12th chapter. Same mentality years later. And the temple was destroyed on more than one occasion. Same foolishness. Probably got tired of this temple getting tore down. It's better for me to tear down the people. Scatter you than keep having to rebuild this temple. Matthew 12, I'm going to skip right down to it almost. I lost my spot. Hold on. Okay. Matthew 12, verse 3. I can't skip right now. Go ahead. Try. I got close.
But
Go
he
ahead.
said unto them,
Yes.
have you not read what David did when he was an hungered,
What did he do?
and they that were with him? How he entered into the house of Elohim
Mhm.
and did eat the showbread,
That's only for the priest to eat. Go ahead.
which was not lawful for him to eat,
Right, you done violated the temple. It wasn't lawful for him. Go ahead.
neither for them which were with him,
Yes, sir.
but only for the priest.
Okay.
Or have you not read in the law how that on the Sabbath day the priest in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless.
Just because they got to keep their fire rolling. They profaning, no doubt. He said, but they blameless. Right? Have you not read this, right? Because they were trying to condemn the people for breaking the Sabbath.
Right.
Condemn the apostles, right? Go ahead.
But I say unto you,
I'm telling you something. Listen up.
that in this place is one greater than the temple.
That's the truth. What do you mean? You looking at them right now.
Right.
You looking at the lawgiver. You looking at the creator of heaven and earth. And I'm right in front of you. And you still worried about, he says there's one greater than this temple. Right, let's see what he said. John, the second chapter, John 2. He said, we making a building. He done gave us a whole earth. He created a garden, a paradise. You there?
Yes, sir.
John 2, verse 14. Go ahead.
And found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and their changers of money sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple.
What? We talking about Jesus, though. I'm talking about meek, baby, sweet Jesus. Huh? Huh? Do these people think he meek? They finna get beat. Huh? He gonna beat them in the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't think nothing about him is meek at this point, do they? Well, what happened, though? Why would he do that?
And the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables.
Overthrew the table. What? Come on.
And said unto them that sold doves.
Now you got to think about it. You done did all of this, and now you gonna stand up and talk to us?
Right.
Huh? You must be a bad man. You done overthrew the money table, money all over the floor, scattered, making it rain. You got sheep, and you done beat us with cords, and now you gonna sit up and you got something to say.
Right.
And ain't nobody saying nothing? Man, we didn't learn about this Jesus. It seemed like, is this Samson or Jesus? It's hard to tell right now. Right? Go ahead.
Take these things hence.
Well, get these things out of here.
Make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Man, what happened? Ain't nobody stand up, did they? They got up out of there. Go ahead.
And the disciples remembered that it was written.
So this is what they turned the temple into, though. So what do I need this for? If this all it's about, what do I need this? You've polluted it. This is supposed to be the place where I commune with you, where heaven and earth meet, where you offer your sacrifice. Right? You've turned it into something totally unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't what this was created for. You know what? I got something I'm about to do. Go ahead and tell us.
The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
Yes, sir.
Then answered the Jews and said unto him, What sign showest thus thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things?
He said, oh, so you done did all this? What sign you going to give us? All right, go ahead.
Yeshua answered and said unto them,
I'm going to give you a sign, all right?
Destroy this temple,
Destroy this temple,
and in 3 days I will raise it up.
I'm going to raise it up in 3 days. What you mean?
Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building.
Man, you crazy.
Yeah.
How you going to do it? You only one man.
Right.
We took us 46 years with thousands of people to build this thing. You going to tear it down in 3? What are you talking about? Go ahead.
And wilt thou rear it up in 3 days?
You will raise it up in 3 days. It took us 40. How you going to do it if we couldn't? It took us 46 years. And you going to do it in 3? What you talking to us about?
But he spake of the temple of his body.
Oh, he done went somewhere else with it. Huh? The temple of your body.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about. The real temple. Because remember, it's not God's desire to do what? Dwell in a temple made with hands. Dwell in physical temple. So the temple that he really want to dwell in is what? It's
Right.
you.
Mm-hmm.
You, your body. Where do he commune with you at? Your mind. Most holy place of your body. So he even made the temple to look like a man's body. Similarities. Right? What verse you at, Brian?
22.
That's good. So he said the temple I'm gonna build it up in 3 days. Right? And he said the temple, he talking about his body. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's look. 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians chapter 6. You there? I got a couple of raggedy pictures. They ain't the best, but it's just to give you a visual. Right? Said the temple is the body. Let's see. Put it up there. Let's see if we can get an example or some similarities. Is it up there? I can't see. Y'all gotta let me know. Okay, well, we'll read till we get up there. Verse 14. So now that you know the temple is the body, it's a certain way you got to handle this thing. Verse 12. Well, 13 is good. 13. Find the answer. Go ahead.
Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats.
Uh-huh.
But Elohim shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication, but for Yahuwah.
You hear that? What's your body for? It's right. Because your body, why would your body be for Yahuwah or for the Lord? I need a place where I can communicate with you. If you're the temple, I need to be able to communicate. I need to be able to instruct you. I need to be able to guide and lead you to order your steps. How am I going to do that without a place for us to visit or meet? Because when we go back, well, Exodus told us, this is the place where we're going to meet. I'm going to meet with you. He said, and it was in the Holy of Holies, right? Up on the mercy seat from between the cherubims. That's the only place. You got a resemblance in your body of the Holiest of Holies. It's your brain. It even has similarities to the look of it. But you know, it's probably just you reaching. You know, I mean, people think they just, God, why would he do that? Because he can. Because he's intelligent. He's smart. He know what type of temple he really want. He know how he want it to look. Ask him. Don't ask me. What verse we at, Brian?
In the 13.
So your body is for the Lord. Right?
And
not
Yahuwah
mine.
For the body.
Mine is for me. That's what we think. You know how I know? Because we real raggedy at how we handle the body. We don't clean it up. We don't wash it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got sinners that they handle their body better than us. Try to put some garbage in front of them to eat. Man, I ain't eating that. My body is my temple. Where they get that from? It's an old principle. My body, man, you finna put that in my temple. They take pride in their temple. What about us? Jesus did it all, brother. What do you got to do then? Jesus did it all. I can do whatever I want. As long as I pray over it. Pray over counsel. I'm just saying. Just pray over diabetes and see if it leaves. But God He give us preventive measures, man. Just like you can't offer no unclean animal on the altar in the physical temple. If your body is the real temple, how can you eat unclean stuff? You defiling it. Your temple is defiled. And you know what? It's signs to show that your temple is defiled. Right? Some people got high blood pressure. Some got diabetes. Right? We got different ailments and Some got cancer and monoglycerin type all that type of stuff, and say, you got obesity, right? You got everything. And I just found out today that they pump fluoride in you to help slow down your brain and turn your pineal gland into stone. They know what they doing. Turn it into stone. Your pineal gland help produce melatonin to help you sleep. Right? I'm just making this. I just want to sound smart. Really, I really could care less. I'm just trying to show us, bro. How it is.
Good job, Keisha.
Huh? You know what that means? Y'all watch baseball. Exactly. Come get it. Come get it. But what verse we at? See, that's 14, what happens when you stop reading scripture. What verse we at?
14.
Okay. If we were going to get through this little old 5 verses. Go ahead.
And Elohim have both raised up Yeshua and will also raise up us by his own power.
That's right. He said, so your body is for the Lord, and the Lord will be for your body. You got to do it accordingly, though. Can't be defiling the temple and then, Lord, won't you just deliver me from this monoglycerin type? No, it ain't nothing. Right? 15, go ahead.
Yeah. Know you not.
Don't you know?
That your bodies are the members of the Mashiach.
Don't you know that? We don't know that. I could do what I want with mine. You go ahead. You right.
Shall I then take the members of Mashiach and make them the members of an harlot?
That means join them to an idol.
Y'all forbid.
Because you know why? He can't dwell in it. He not interested in sharing the most holy place with Satan. I'm not interested in serving the most holy place with the NFL. Huh? The NBA, it just ain't in comparison unto me. Why would I play second fiddle to the NBA?
Let's say that.
We got bad mind. We thought we was in the truth. They all sacrifice to their God. They come have one tomorrow. It's called a Super Bowl. Well, you stretching it. You way out there, Brother Al. That ain't the Most High God, is it? Food for thought. I don't be wanting to go there, but if I ain't a killer, but don't push me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read.
16.
Yes.
What? Know you not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body?
That's why no man can serve 2 masters. You really low key. That's your God. I'm just over here watching. You come get at me when you tired of that. Really, you really don't get tired of that. They just have off season. That's all they have. That's why ain't nothing going on with them right now. Now you want to come in my face. Yeah.
Right.
Now you find out you got that itch. Now you need me. Lord, please. I want you to go tell them NFL doctors. Lord, please, tell it to them. Right? Somebody going to the NFL, in truth, must be. I don't know. I don't know why I'm on it. Probably because they used to be my guy. That's why I'm on it. Yeah. But when that was my guy, you know what I did? Man, I had a good diet. Man, I was dedicated. I lift weights. I supposed to be at the club. I'm out there running 40-yard dashes, right? I'm going over and beyond. Doing ridiculous stuff till I can make it. Still didn't make it. And now that guy turned his back on me, man. You hear me? That guy turned his back on me, right? But I'm glad.
Got to say that.
Thank God for knee problems. You hear me? I'm just saying. You never know what could be a blessing, man. Anyway, while you get out there too far, you might not be able to come back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get out there 10, 20 years in the game, boy, you ain't coming back. You ain't coming to know God. Not know Yah. Right? But go ahead, right? If we're going to finish this today.
For 2, saith he, shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto Yahuwah is one spirit.
Look at that. Joined to him. It's more intimate now. This is a better way. Your body being a temple is better now. You know why? Because at first, only the priest could go into the temple. Now, you got access yourself.
All right.
That's better. That's better. Go ahead.
18. Flee fornication.
Look at that. That's idolatry. Run away from it. Go ahead. Don't hang on to it. Let me do this one more thing. No, get rid of it. Go ahead.
Every sin that a man doeth is without the body.
Mm-hmm.
But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
That's the truth. Sin against God. Is it a picture up there? Yeah, I can't see it. What is it? And side by side? Okay. Your body is the temple. See the most holy place? Where is it at? In the mind. We're going to read what's in the most holy place in the physical temple. Would it show that already up there too? But we'll read it anyway. Okay? Go ahead.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Know you not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost which is in you?
So don't you know that your body is the temple of what? The Holy Spirit. Right? Where did the Holy Spirit dwell? In your mind. How you know? Because you start to produce spirits. Is that, there it is. You start to produce the fruits of the Spirit. Like joy, love and peace and long suffering, right? Temperance. Right? How you gonna do that if you ain't if these are God's spirits? If his spirit ain't in you, this ain't coming out of you. But you know where I put this at? I put this on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote them in your heart. They there. What verse? Go on and close this out, bro.
In the 19.
Okay.
Which you have of Elohim,
Uh-huh.
and you are not your own.
You are what? You got a bad mind. We think we ours. I do what I want to do. Ain't nobody tell me nothing. I'm my own. Self-made. Go ahead.
20.
I'm just saying. Self-made. You ain't even birth yourself. How you self-made?
Right,
But anyway,
right.
Go ahead.
For you are bought with a price.
You've been purchased with the blood. Down payment. Right? What else? You bought with a price?
Therefore glorify Elohim in your body,
What?
and in your ruach, which are Elohim's.
Glorify God in your body and in your spirit. That's the spirit of your mind. That's your mind. He said they his. So this is the dwelling place. This is where we communicate to each other now. All right? That's why I don't need them physical temples. That's why I need you to clean yourself up so you can be a place for my spirit to rest, a place for my spirit to dwell and reside. All right, let's go back up to 1 Corinthians 3. Because now that we know, now that we know we do better. Verse 16 and 17. I ain't going to add nothing to it. Go ahead.
Know you not that you are the temple of Elohim?
You what?
You are the temple of Elohim.
Okay, where is this temple at in the world? Where the building at? It's gone, though. He don't have one. But he got the whole world. That's where his people are. The real temple is you. You got the same functions as the temple. He said, know you not that you are the temple of God? Go ahead.
And that the ruach of Elohim dwelleth in you.
That's what we were just talking about. The spirit. His spirit got to dwell. Remember when, we're going to read it, but we read it earlier. When he was talking about the tabernacle of the congregation, right, which is the portable tent that he had amongst the children of Israel in the wilderness. He said, I want you to make me this tabernacle so I can dwell what? Among them.
Mm-hmm.
Now the language has shifted. He said, I want you the temple of the living God. Read that again. God's spirit do what? This is the end of verse 16.
And that the ruach of Elohim dwelleth in you.
Dwelleth where? Among you?
In you.
Dwelleth in you. Verse 17.
If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy. For the temple of Elohim is holy, which temple you are.
How do you defile it? Romans 1, sinning, right? 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 11. All right, this is how you defile it, by the things that you do. Right? In other words, he can't dwell in no unclean temple. That's the point. It's going to be just like the rest of them temples, torn down. 2 Corinthians 6. 2 Corinthians 6. Pick them up at 14. Go ahead.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Well, that stuff is contagious. It is. He said, don't be unequally yoked with them. You don't want that poison to spread to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
And what communion have light with darkness?
What agreement, right? How can we communicate? When do dark and light communicate to each other? Go ahead.
And what concord have Mashiach with Belial?
I'm gonna say what? Pardon me. What agreement do Christ have with a false god? What they agreeing about? I'm gonna get them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you can have them on the Shabbat.
Right. Every other weekend.
Yeah. Ain't nothing to talk about. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
But what part have he believeth with an infidel?
So what part do a believer have with an unbeliever? Over, why you hanging with them? That's what you want. But go ahead.
And what agreement had the temple of Elohim with idols?
You the temple. Even when he was showing us with the physical temple, ain't no idols in there. And when it was in Ezekiel, he destroyed it. What agreement do the temple of God have with idols? Go ahead.
For you are the temples of the living Elohim.
He wants them to know that. You don't have no room for Christ and something else. You don't have no room for the Lord and the NBA. Because that's going to take all your time.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to keep up with them, it's going to take more than what you got to give. You're not that good. Now, they good just like you. They tall just like you. They fast just like, they can jump high just like you. But you know where the difference come at? Two places. In the mind, and you got to work on skill. Skill in the mind. That's what it takes. That's what it takes for you to serve God correctly. The mind, he'll give you the skill. We call that the spirit or the gift, right? But go ahead.
As Elohim has said,
what did he say?
I will dwell in them and walk in them.
You going to dwell where at?
In them and walk in them.
Now, is that not better than dwelling among you? He said, I'm going to dwell in you, right? And I'm going to walk in you. And what you going to do?
And I will be their Elohim,
and
they shall be my people.
They're going to be my people. Real temple. Place for you to commune with God. Place for you to offer your sacrifice to the Lord. How you going to, what he said, how you going to sacrifice to God and to, we just going to call your idol Belial? Mm-hmm. You going to give something to both of us? Exactly. What else? Who you going to give it to first? Because you know what I require. Firstly. And you know what I require. Don't have no other guys except me. That's it. It ain't no more room. Look, nobody else made nothing that I made everything that the hands can imagine and can't imagine. Ain't no room for me and something else. What else? Or let me say this. Ain't no room for me and you. I'm your conscience. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no room for me and you, right? You got to get rid of you. Go ahead.
17. Wherefore, come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith Yeshua, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
That's what he commands. Come out from among the filth. That's the dirt. That's the people. Don't be mingled in because they might rub off on you. Right? He said, come out from among, be separate. Right? It was many ancient temples, but none of them like the one in Israel.
That's right.
He said, be separate. And don't even touch the unclean thing. Then I will receive you. Yes, sir.
And will be a father unto you.
You will?
And ye shall be my sons and daughters.
That's what we want right there. That's what we want. Sons of God. Daughters of God. Let's go back to the old book real quick. Exodus 29. Because he said he's going to dwell in you. Verses 43 through 46. We're just showing the difference. Exodus 29. Verse 43 through 46. Go ahead.
And there will I meet with the children of Israel.
He's talking about in the tabernacle. Remember, that's where he going to meet. So God is like, I'm not meeting with you. I got a designed place where I'm meeting with you. What is it?
And the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar.
You see that? He's going to sanctify the tabernacle and the altar. What else?
And I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me in the priest office.
See, that's under the tabernacle and the temple. The priest was the only one that could really go up in there like that. But now, he's dwelling in you. Got better access. What else? Watch what he say.
And I will dwell among the children of Israel and will be their Elohim.
You caught it? Where he going to dwell at? Among them. So where's he dwelling at now? In us. That's better. So instead of him dwelling among the mist, it's real personal, right? In your most holy space, your mind. And that's why he tell you to meditate on the word. Because we communicating. You meditating on the word, we communicating. I'm showing you. Right. This is how you're going to get your increase. You chewing a cud. You chewing up the word, you regurgitate it, you chew it back up. Meditate on the word. What else? He said, so I'm going to dwell among, so it's better now. Better him dwelling in us than him among us, right? Go ahead.
46.
Yes, sir.
And they shall know that I am Yahuwah, the Elohim, that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am Yahuwah, the Elohim.
That's right. Said I'm Yahuwah, the Elohim. Back up to Exodus 25 real quick. We're going back to when he was telling them to make the tabernacle. We got one thing to look at, and then we almost done. And this is the Ark of the Covenant. Because the Ark of the Covenant represents the presence of God, and it goes in the most holy place. And it's something that he put in the Ark of the Covenant. Verse 16. Go ahead.
And thou shalt put it into the ark of the testimony which I shall give thee. Mm-hmm. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length.
I wish I had a picture of that mercy seat or that Ark of the Covenant. How many of the pictures did y'all get? Only. All right. And a head? All right, that's cool. Is it a brain? What is it? Keep going. A skull? Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Keep reading.
And a cubit and a half that breathed thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold.
So he's just telling you make this Ark of the Covenant, you make this mercy seat, and he's telling them how big to make it. And he said, I want you to put 2 cherubims, which is 2 angels. Make them of gold. Go ahead.
Of beaten work shalt thou make them in the 2 ends of the mercy seat.
On each end. Right, go ahead.
And make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof.
So you make them facing each other, right? Go ahead.
And the cherubims shall stretch forth their wings on high.
You see that? They're going to do what? Stretch forth their wings.
On high.
Yes, sir.
Covering the mercy seat.
Covering the mercy seat.
With their wings.
Protecting it. Yes, sir.
And their faces shall look one to another.
Uh-huh.
Toward the mercy seat shall their faces of the cherubims be.
Right.
And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee.
So you put the mercy seat above the ark, but inside the ark, what you put?
The testimony.
That's the 10 Commandments. The 2 tables of stone that I gave you. I want you to put them in the Ark of the Covenant. And you know where this ark going? In the most holy place. You know where it's going in your body? We're going in your mind. But look, where are you at, 21?
22.
Okay, this is the last verse I want. Go ahead.
And there I will meet with thee.
See, where you going to meet with me? In the holiest place, right? And what you going to do when you meet with me there?
And I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat.
So what that mean? Communicate. I'm going to communicate with you from where? From this location. Above the mercy seat.
From between the two cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Of all things which I will give thee in the commandment unto the children of Israel.
That's where I'm going to communicate with you. All right? Let's go to Jeremiah 31. So the Lord did he did something different now. Something better. Instead of putting it in that Ark of the Covenant with the two cherubims in that physical temple, in the holiest of holies, he put his commandments somewhere else. Jeremiah 31 and 31. Go ahead.
Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah,
What's going to happen?
that I will make a new covenant with the house of
We're
Israel
going to make a new covenant, right? A new contract. Like what?
and with the house of Judah.
You okay?
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the days that I took them by the hand
See,
to
it's not
bring
gonna-
them out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah, man, ain't going to be like that one. I got something a little different I want to work. All right, go ahead and read.
Which my covenant they break,
They broke it.
although I was a husband unto them,
Even-
saith Yahuwah.
Even though I took care of them, even though I was a husband to it, they still broke it. Go ahead.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
After those days, saith Yahuwah,
What
I
you
will
gonna
put
do?
my law in their
Mhm.
inward parts,
Uh-huh.
and write it in their hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people.
Look at that. So instead of them being written on those stones, they written in your heart now. Your mind, your inward part. Nobody can take them away. That's the most holy place. That's where he's going to communicate with you. That's why he tell you to meditate on his laws and his statutes and commandments day and night. Right? We trying to communicate with God. He said, you got to meditate. That's where they are. And if you notice, your brain has a resemblance to the Ark of the Covenant with them cherubim. Angels pointing facing each other. It wasn't an accident. It has similarities. If your body is the temple, why wouldn't he make it look similar?
Right.
Yeah, but I don't believe it. Well, that's cool. You ain't got to. But it still don't change the fact of how it's structured. It still look like two angels facing each other. Huh? You know where you got to show mercy at? Where do it stimulate from? In your mind. You know where you got to produce the spirits, the fruits of the spirits? They start in your mind. Whatever's in your mind is what come out. Right? What do Matthew 15 say? This is what defile a man. Out of the heart, out of the mind proceed evil. Out of the heart proceed murderers and fornications and adultery. This is what he's talking about. If any man defile the temple, you be in the temple. That's the one who the Lord is going to destroy. So we got to get it together. You in danger. What verse you at, bro?
That was 33.
Yeah, watch what's going to happen now. Go ahead and read.
34.
Uh-huh.
And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahuwah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahuwah.
So once he put them laws, once you got them in your soul, because they always been in people's mind. Every man been made the same way since Adam.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem under the old covenant is they didn't get it in their heart and in their mind. Right? They didn't retain it, the spirit. They just, it was written on, they started to put the trust in the tabernacle, in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go out like that no more. I got to do a new work. Make this thing real up close and personal. I'm going to put it in your heart. So once you got it in your spirit, you will know when somebody trying to deceive you when it comes to the Lord.
Right.
Because I wrote them on. Why? Because we communicating together. This is where I meet with you. This is where I place my spirit. We communicate, right? So when it's something out of the ordinary, what happened? You get a guilty conscience, bad feeling, just don't seem right. I can't put my hand on it, but something just don't seem right. That's the Spirit of God. Yep. Higher consciousness. What verse?
End of 34.
Okay, go ahead.
For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more.
So you know what it looked like? Psalms 1. Psalms 119 got a lot of verses that tell you about meditating on the word. Got to take time out. Psalms 1, verse 1. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Sit in the seat of the scornful. Instead of having mercy, this is what they do. That man is not going to be blessed. But go ahead.
But his delight is in the law of Yahuwah.
His what is?
Is in the law of Yahuwah.
His delight.
Oh.
Huh? His delight is in the law of the Lord. Go ahead.
And in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
It's written in your heart and in your mind. This ain't nothing new. You meditating on the word. That's how I get it in your mind and in your soul.
Right.
That's how I produce a change within you. If it don't get it written on your heart, it's not going to produce a change. And that was the problem with Israel. It never produced a change because they never received it with a ready heart. It never got in their mind.
Right.
Wasn't meditating on the word. They meditating on quail. You know what I'm saying? We trying to see how we're going to get back in Egypt because we had pomegranates and stuff to the full in slavery. Huh? It never produced a change within the people. He said, this is a people that always error in their heart. That's in their mind. And it's the same thing today. Right? But guess what? The ones that do listen, the ones that do communicate with me, that we walk together, I walk in, you blessed. This is how it look. Come on.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Yes, sir.
That bringeth forth his fruit in his season.
Ain't no off season for you. Ain't no drought. That's what he ain't no famine.
Right.
You are well nourished tree year round. Go ahead.
His leaf also shall not wither.
Never.
And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
So why are you looking to the gods of the world for prosperity? The man that got his trust in the Lord and meditating his word day and night, he say, whatever you do, will prosper. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Whatever they put their hand to, Joseph. No matter what opposition, nobody could stop him. Laban tried to stop Jacob. He cheated him and beat him more than about 10 times, changed his wages. He kept rolling. He kept serving. It works. You know, so we faint. That's our problem.
Right.
We got off season when we ain't supposed to have it. We like that. We playing it by, he said we playing it by a pool. We ain't playing it by that river. You hear me? We playing it by a pool. You know the pools you go buy, $3?
Yeah.
You know, you only can stick your feet in them. You see them? And they run out of air after the second use. That's us. We faint. We get tired after the second time. After the second Sabbath, I'm out. I can't endure this no more. Go ahead and read.
The ungodly are not so.
The who? I don't, you know what? I ain't trying to be that. I don't want to read no more of that about the ungodly. I'm trying to figure out how to be godly. Right? But go ahead. He said, you shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Revelations 21. I only got a couple more. Yeah, I'm over my time. I got a couple more. Revelation 21. Pick him up at verse 1. But verse 22 is our concentration. Go ahead.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
You did?
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Look, this don't mean the literal earth In the literal heaven. I promise you it don't. This stuff ain't going nowhere. He already told us that in Genesis, the 8th chapter, 21st verse. Once he destroyed the flood, he said, ain't going to do it no more. Right? Ain't going to do it like that no more.
Right.
Right? So he said, but the new heaven and the new earth, what's going to happen?
And there was no more sea.
The what?
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Elohim out of heaven,
Mm-hmm.
prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right.
And I heard a
Prepared
great...
as a bride. Adorned. You know who the bride of Christ is? The church. The people. Prepared as a bride. You know how bride get ready on up with some of. Let's drop down to verse 22, Brother Brian. So he's explaining New Jerusalem and about, how it's going to look, gates of gold, pearls, and 12, everything. The magnificence of it, right? Verse 22. Go ahead.
And I saw no temple therein.
What you mean?
For Yahuwah Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
Well, what do we need a temple for?
Right.
We dwell in heaven and earth. Huh? What do I need a temple to talk to my people for? I'm dwelling in them. The earth is my footstool.
Yes, sir.
That's all no temple. Who was the temple?
Yahuwah Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
That's all we need. Right? That's all we need. We the temple too. Last spot. Genesis 1. Genesis 1. If he the temple, we just got to go back to this. If the Father and the Son is the temple, 1 and 26. He said, we don't need no temple. He the light of it. Verse 26. What did it say?
And Elohim said,
What did he say?
let us make man in our image.
That's Bible. He the temple. Father and the Son is the temple. Let's make man in our image. Didn't the Bible tell you was the temple of God?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need. Go ahead.
After our likeness.
Yes, sir.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image.
And what happened?
In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them.
That's right. So you the temple too. His desire is not to dwell in a temple made with hands. None of that stuff can contain him. The only thing we do when we see those physical temples is start admiring those and giving his glory to those. But he made you in his image. He said he the temple. The Bible told us he was the temple and we were the temple. And we made in his image. That only makes sense. Why? This is the place where heaven and earth meet.
Right.
This is the place where I communicate with you, where you offer service to me, where you worship me. All right? So we got to end it on this note, Revelations 14 and 12. So he's looking for a real dwelling place, which is in us. So we got to clean ourselves. Make yourself ready. Believe me. No matter what you chasing out here, that stuff is only going to last so long. And when it's over, it's over. Ain't no do-overs. Once your lights shut off, it's a wrap. I don't care how much money you had.
Right.
I don't care how many people in the world knew your name. Huh? None of that matter at the end of the day. When the sun go down on you, nobody care because you was known all over the world. Nobody care because you left loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff can do you no good now. That's what I'm saying. All them guys can't even help you. Tell them to resurrect you.
Right.
It's unlimited money in the NBA. Huh? Bring them back. It's over. And you know what you forgot to do? Chase after what's really important in this life. That's what you forgot. You went for the flash and the cash. Go ahead, bro.
Here is the patience of the saints.
So the saints got a different arena. You got to have patience. You're going to need it because persecution is going to come your way. What's the patience of? What's going to help us through the persecution? That's the patience. What is it?
Is that my cue?
Oh,
Okay. Here are they that keep the commandments of Elohim and the faith of Yeshua.
I hope somebody got some understanding in Jesus' name. I thank you for your time. Amen.
You're doing good, man. I was listening.
I didn't even want to talk. Between you and somebody else in this room, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going to say no name.
Man.
But
I was intrigued at your speech, man. It was great.
I'm just trying not to talk right now. Somebody hit that off right there. It's not ready? We done. Oh yeah. I told you I didn't want to talk. But now I do got to make this one quick announcement. I don't need them now. I can sub you out.
All right, man. I'm sorry.
One quick announcement we do got to make. We plan here at the Vineyard of Israel to host our first couples enrichment, right? On this will be Sunday, March the 29th. Right, the cost is $65. The first $30 will be due at the end of February. Oh, it's due now. The first $30 is due now. The last 30 is due at the end of February. Okay. All right. So, truth be told, we don't ask for money here much, but believe me, everybody that's called themselves in the truth, your relationship needs this kind of action. Right? We trying to rekindle the menorah, in the words of some of our people, right? So what's happening? We just want to show people how to act in a relationship after a godly manner. Right? While having a little bit of fun at the same time. Right? And I think it'd be really beneficial to all couples, right? And you don't have to be a part of the Vineyard of Israel to attend, right? Just make sure you married or pushing to be married, right? So that's going to be March the 29th. We'll be all-day affair starting at 8:30. Israel is 8 o'clock. You hear me? So we can start on time, right? But no, none of that. We got rid of that, right? So it's all-day affair. Right? We'll take a break in the middle of the day. We'll have dinner and dancing at the end, but we do want to go through some serious things regarding relationships out of the Bible, right? So that will be beneficial, right? So we plan to host that and see how it goes. This we do if the Lord permit.
Man.
All right, so that's it on that. I thank you, and everybody, let's stand and face Ruth. We can close out. You're hating all day, Brian.
I'm just playing, guys. You're doing great. Love you, Amy.